Alright, so thanks for another video, and today we're going to be doing a kind of bit more of a beginner-based video. I thought one of my channel was beginner-based, but I accidentally just make it too high level. So we're going to be doing kind of beginner-based video, just some very, very basic stuff for newer players. If you're a more advanced player, you can tell your friends who are new at the game to watch this video. Get them to like and subscribe as well. We're not going to do the cool buttons, but yeah, hit the cool buttons. And yeah, so basically this game here, we have my cousin playing on my account who was here in my house yesterday. And yeah, he told me he was really good and he did not need any of my help, but you can probably see from the strategy for more advanced players, he in fact did need some help, but he's too cocky to ask for it. Anyways, so first piece of beginner advice is when you're playing games, you want to make sure you're using a strategy that actually works. So the way you can get that is you can look on YouTube to see loads of like videos that show workable strategies for different types of maps. You want to learn what types of strategies work on different types of maps, and you can use them. Actually, I'm just going to slowly roll this in the background. So you can see he's using a strategy in Ninja, Ice, Cobra. So yeah, this is not a viable strategy. This is not shown anywhere. I'm saying maybe like memes or something, or challenges, but don't copy the challenge strategies. They are challenges because they're hard to do, not because they're good. Hey, a second beginner advice is that you want to try and, if you don't know strategies, or you want to try your own strategies, or forget, or what you can try and remember is you want to try and find towers that combine well all together. So for example, the Ninja and the Ice can combine alright, but not when you place them this close to each other, and the Ninja will be trying to attack the frozen balloons, and it won't be popping them. So that's one thing. The other is that these then don't combine at all with the Cobra. So yeah, this is not a viable strategy because of these reasons, though you can outlast the Cobra isn't doing anything really, and other stuff like camo leads are going to be quite tricky, regen balloons are going to be quite tricky, a lot of stuff's going to be pretty tricky in this game. A third point, which is it's going to get a little bit more advanced, but it's the type of playstyle you want. So we're progressing quite a bit on from choosing the strategy. Now it's how you're actually wanting to play the game. So essentially for T0, essentially if you're you need to look at what you think your opponent's going to use from how they open the game. For example, Boat with this sort of anti-stall is going to always be he shouldn't be anti-stalling, so he's not actually doing this correctly either. But actually no, we probably outlast if he sees Ninja Nice down, so maybe that's what he's thinking. But yeah, if you're wanting to, if you're the strat that lasts longer, you need to drain and anti-stall a bit more. If you're the strat that, if you're the strat doesn't last as long, if you're the strat that doesn't last as long, you need to be draining the opponent a bit more. If you're the strat that lasts longer, you need to just be trying to hold on for as long as possible, is typically how you want to be trying to play the game out. So yeah, I guess this guy anti-stalling is okay. Third thing is you want to, that was the third thing. Fourth thing, I'm just going to say a load of it, I'm not even going to count, I can't lie. Another thing is you want to, when you're using your boosts, you want to use the boosts to greed, or because you panic and just to not die, but ideally you only want to use them for greeding purposes, especially in T0, so the cousin just boosting there for no reason is not quite an optimal use of the boost. And it's basically going to cause him to die. He then forgets the boost again because, you know, he's only played Bloons Tower Defense 6. But yeah, so you want to try and use your boost to greed rather than to try and upgrade stuff and then boost. That's really bad if you have to do that, I can't lie. It's going to cause you to struggle in a lot of games. And yeah, so either if you get rushed, you either want to get the defense down or you want to boost. You need to judge depending on what your strategy is, which of the options is better. And that's how you're going to decide whether to boost or to upgrade defense. We'll do some R3 speed games while we're just doing this. When you're a newer player, you're not going to have as many, you're obviously not going to have 26 million medallions. So it's going to be a bit risky, unless you're going to amp chess, it's going to be a bit harder for you to play in these high arenas. You do need to get to the high arenas eventually to try and progress. But you don't want to be using like all your medallions up in like a ZOMG Superdome when you're a newer player and you're going to lose all your medallions and then have to go straight back down into the North Pole. What the hell? Why is this called the North Pole? Okay, I guess it's just a Christmas thing. I've not even looked at the new arenas in ages, but you know, you don't want to be playing in the North Pole or in a Winter Wonderland. So yeah. I didn't even realise that. That's kind of mad. Not Yellow Stadium. Or Yellow Stadium. So the way I would do it is you want to go into an arena which you could afford to lose in 4 times. So yeah, in 4 times you're probably getting at least one opponent. Now you got like 1 in 4 of getting a opponent that's reasonable to play against. Otherwise, so if it's the highest arena, so for example today Moab Pit's the highest arena. If you don't have at least 40k, don't play any games, and if you play in it once and lose, then come back down in the arenas. You can do, but if say there's ZOMG and BFB are out, 2 higher arenas, and then there's also like Moab Pit free power-ups. I would then say you need 20 to 30k, you can go for 1 game, and then if you lose that, then just go back to a lower arena. So you always want to try and push yourself up to a higher arena. But you want to, yeah, but you don't want to do this too early so that you lose all your medallions and then you can't play in anything anymore. And yeah, I guess another tip is that if you don't have any power, if you don't have many powers, you want to make sure you're waiting a little bit longer as well. I personally waited till I had T3 powers, I think, before I went into, or I always did aggro, but I personally waited till I had T3 powers, or NG Mortar Farm, until I went into Moab Pit. Yeah, so I stayed in Rainbow Ruins till then. You don't have to wait that long. I wasn't really looking at a load of good power players. There weren't really any out when I was playing at first, so that was quite hard. Oh, this dress seems quite fun. You can anti-stall this. So yeah, that's just something to think about. And yeah, so we're just going to get our boat down right here. Think of some more advice. I guess another piece of advice is that if you're newer to the game and you want to learn the new towers, R3 is a really good way of learning that. Because kind of like, yeah, a lot of players are in a similar boat where they can't use a strategy that you don't know how to play against or anything like that if you're new, and yeah, just being in the same boat gives you it doesn't mean you're not disadvantaged. It's not like you're only got like T3 powers or T1 or T2 powers and your opponent's got like all the powers. They're not advantaged like that, and you can like learn what your opponent does. You can kind of like copy what they do if you're near as well, see what the stuff they're doing, and yeah, you can copy that, and you can kind of get an understanding of why they do that by being able to copy it as soon as they do it, if they're a better opponent, of course. Okay, I'm just going to glue storm this actually. He's used a power, so if they use a power, you can use a power, is typically what I say is a general rule. Kind of want to start getting some farms down because Team's Tower Stone with rushes round 11 is going to be quite deadly. I might even just do this because I want the eco. And to be honest, actually yellows are going to be really effective. Let's go for this farm anyways. And this, so 4 rounds till rainbows. And I'm just going to call out some stuff while I think of other pieces of tactical genius that you can copy. Ooh, actually this is going to be quite tough. Gonna need 3 of these. Glue storm straight away, instantly. Okay, he's used all his team tower stones up, so he has wasted some team tower stones there. You do want to be saving powers when we're playing in powers. Send some regen leads in. Let's get these coming over the top. And get one of these on strong. He's just gone for that. Okay, he's gonna die in a second. What he should do. He's gonna glue storm that, that's really good. For us. I did that at the end of the round, that's retarded, don't do that. Yeah, I guess another piece of advice after that silly play is don't use your eco powers at the end of the round. We'll team tower send him there because he's out of glue storms. I guess another thing is when you're playing powers, we're getting slightly more advanced now, but you need to remember which powers have a really, and free power-ups specifically, which powers have a really short cooldown and which ones have a long cooldown time. So, like most Sabos, Tower Boosts have I think all of them except for really the Trek have a longer cooldown time of at least 30 seconds. So if you force your opponent to boost, this is in T0 as well, so if you force your opponent to boost, use one of their boosts, they don't get that back for 30 seconds, so see that glue storm right there. I mean, that's one of the exceptions, I think, yeah. Glue storm's actually, it's weird that there are a few exceptions to this, but you know, we move. But yeah, so I saw him use that glue storm just then, and so I could take advantage of that by then rushing him again with the Team Tower Stun and knowing he can't glue storm again on the counter rush. So rushing, then re-rushing, and learning the rushes is a pretty big thing. We still need to make a video on that actually. That will come out at some point. Okay, so we got Dart farm glue. That's an interesting strategy. I tried that the other day actually, thinking maybe it's could be a secret aggro T0 strat, because you can kind of just defend Moabs really easily, and then early game stuff is pretty easy. You can just glue strike and all that. He's going to eco amp as well. So yeah, eco amps, they're not going to do us loads in this game, so we're just going to go for them pretty early on. He's going to send us pinks. We're going to out eco. I'm going to put this on strong as well. Oh, I guess another point is learning targeting. I don't even know the targetings, but yeah, you can get loads more value out of some towers by having their targetings changed. So yeah, a lot of maps it's not important. A few basic ones are, most of the time if you got like a cluster bomb, you want to make sure it's set to close. Boats are usually good on close. Sometimes it's last. But no, mainly close. Dart monkeys, the targetings change loads. I can't really say all of those. They're literally all of them, I think, can get used at certain points. As you get later into some games, some towers getting set to strong, like putting your super monkeys on strong, and changing the targetings can be pretty effective as well. So that's something else to think about. So yeah, that's another point. We'll do another eco amp. So we got loads of eco right here. We should probably just stop ecoing. We could probably farm as well now. I must say I'm not a very good R3 player. If you'd seen the R3 tournament, you'll see how badly I did in that. But no, he's gonna facepalm me. Okay. Do you want to say anything about emotes in this guide? Yeah, you could emotes. They're not really doesn't really matter too much. If you want to try and get in your opponent's head, if you think that's something that some players like Devil, like they really hate it if you facepalm. You really can get in their heads by facepalming a lot. Can we be good to this? Okay, that's not good. Okay, I didn't think that was going to be so bad, but okay. I'm going to go for some bolts now then, I guess, in case he wants to re-rush us. But, okay. Maybe we should prepare a glue hose for in a second as well. Just going to get loads of these down. He's preparing as well, okay. I'm just a bit tense right now. Yeah, go for another farm, why not? He could rush us here. Could send us in a camo-let, there it is. Okay, we're both good to this. No, we should be, come on. There we go. Did that get through? Maybe. Doesn't look like it, okay. Just gonna keep farming for now then. He's not rushing us, so he's got a lot of money in hand. I guess another thing is, if you can tell when your opponent is doing stuff and not doing stuff, it takes quite a bit of practice for this, but if you can start to look out for, well, I guess we're starting to slowly get more advanced by accident, but if you can, yeah, tell when your opponent has a lot of money or little money, that's really good. So when our opponent didn't have any had stopped farming for a while, we could tell he's got a lot of money in his hand, and so rushing him would not be as effective as say if we waited for him not to have as much money, and then yeah, that'll be pretty good. So we can go for, so with also you in R3 you want to think when your opponent's going to die, so I think he's going to struggle to deactivate. He needs his fan club for his BFB defend. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to send in a Moab as well, and I'm going to deactivate him there, and I'm just going to all out him, I think, with these, and I think he's going to struggle because he's not going to be able to fan club, and he needs the fan club for the Moabs, and loads of camo is going to come underneath. He's not going to be able to see them and defend. We're going to take that game. So yeah, I guess just, yeah, I guess we already said this point before, but rushing, we do need to make a beginner's guide for rushing. That video will come out soon. Any other advice I can just think of? If I can think of any, I'll do one more R3 game just for video length, but if I can think of any other advice, I might put it on the screen. I'll think of it afterwards. I guess if you're a more advanced player, put down below in the comment section any other beginner piece of advice you would have that have not already been said. This strategy, yeah, no, not for me. Moabs are blue. Okay, this guy, he knows things. Yeah, I guess if you're this depends on whether you're grinding or not, but if you have a map like if you learn the harder maps and learn to be good on the harder maps and learn the aggro strats, then you'll see a lot of success. So yeah, this one can't go very late, I don't believe, because we are using because we're on Hydra Dam and we have an aggro power, so it should be really hard to defend an all out on round 11. So yeah, I'm just going to be thinking of that while we're playing the game. He's going to put his opponent in a bad spot, so that's one of our things. Did we say spots before? I think we said spots at the start, yeah. Or if we didn't say spots at the start, like when our cousin was doing the rubbishy ice spot, that's obviously not the ice spot that you want to be using. So you need to learn those spots, because you can do way more damage in some spots than others. So if you see like we're doing a very similar start, and you look how many more, he's leaked a bunch more lives than us. And we'll have more eco, I think, as well. So yeah, he's leaked like 20 more lives, something like that. And he's got more defense down. And we'll have more eco because we just started ecoing again. We've max ecoing for a lot longer. So yeah, we're in a huge advantage. He's got way more defense down. And we have more lives. So this is what is called just straight up outplaying. Because all the factors in the game being money, lives, defense, we are just kind of winning at now. We're now slightly down on lives, but it doesn't really matter. We could just farm here, to be honest. It looks like he should have had the farm down because he's just been space ecoing, but somehow he can't afford, so, you know, we'll take that, I guess. He's now got a farm down finally, but so have we. I think we'll still have more eco. We'll go for this. I don't know how we're still leaking to this. This is a bit strange, actually. Ever since there's loads of yellows, I think we'll just boost. Yep, so this is an example where we want to boost rather than getting loads more defense down. And if he re-rushes us, we could force the boost as well, but we're not going to. So another thing with this strat doesn't have very good lead detection, so, or lead popping power, you know. We can detect it still, but yeah, popping many of them is going to be quite tricky. He's going to get lead, he'll be able to pop leads as well. We do need to get this quite fast because we don't have loads of lives so we can tank. Sometimes you can just tank out leads. Some strategies, oh my god, okay, we're now getting a bit too low for comfort. Can we pop these? Can we pop this? What the so this is not exactly what we wanted. So I didn't think those leads would be so much problem. I guess, we don't have faster shooting, do we? So we're going to try and bait something with this. This is quite a big rush. He doesn't have loads and loads of defense down, so he's going to boost here. Oh, wrong tower. I put the wrong tower down. Oh my god, how do I do that? Okay, we were going to win that if we just re-rushed in a second, but it is what it is. Yeah, I guess don't drag the wrong tower, but that's just, you know, typical advice. I guess we'll just end it there. So yeah, they've got a bunch of tips in there. Hope this helps some newer players out. But yeah, that'll wrap up today's video. Hope you enjoyed. These are the leaderboards. And yeah, have a nice rest of your day. And we will catch you in the next one.